listening to The Burn. Gaming stuff, blazing fast.
Welcome to a new episode of The Burn, a podcast about gaming done blazing fast. I'm Aviv Manoach.
And I am Omer Kaplan. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Kaplan. How it's going on?
It's been, there's never a dull moment in Ohio, let me to say that. Well, there's usually a lot of dull moments in Ohio, but...
Yeah, I was going to say Ohio of all places.
Yeah, no, it's actually pretty relaxed other than some workplace shenanigans, but it's all good.
What's the COVID situation over there?
So a lot of the people, so really anecdotal data, I work for healthcare, so a lot of the people in my vicinity is vaccinated. A lot of the people so my neighborhood is pretty compliant because it's a really, nice, obedient suburb. So most of the people around me are fully vaccinated. The clinical trials for children is done like 30 minutes from where I live. So I actually know two parents that their children are in the clinical trials.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, so far so good.
Awesome.
I think.
Israel pretty much decided that Corona is not a thing anymore. We opened everything. I'm going back to frontal classes in my college next week. I'm not a fan of that at all.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So no masks, no nothing?
Masks in closed spaces, like in stores and restaurants and stuff. People basically don't check your vaccination status at all. People here decided that we're fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. No. So I think people here are still like very conscious. I can tell you that Adas, my wife, is flying to New York in a few weeks, and they're gonna, there's like a bunch of forms you need to fill. You need to like give consent for them to verify your like vaccination information. So I think people, especially in New York, they're still pretty aware of what.
We have like a special QR code that you're supposed to show that contains your vaccination information, and like a security guard or staff of a place is supposed to scan it, but basically no one does it. People maybe will ask you to show them that you have it, but other than that, the only place that people that I was asked to show this is at the entrance to my college. Basically anywhere else, no one cares. When I go to a restaurant, they ask you to wear a mask when you enter, but other than that, when we're in class, no one really wear masks anymore. So
that's interesting.
We are in a good situation, right? 60% of the population is vaccinated, and like the number of infected is dropping still, so hopefully we actually manage to beat it in Israel for the tiny place that we are. But
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you: Do you have listeners from Australia?
Let's check. I will go into our anchor page and I will check that. Why?
Because I don't want to insult anyone. So this week I'm on LinkedIn, doing my thing, and then I get a message from a very big, like a known company. They say, hey, we have a great job offer for you, as like recruiters always do. It's a job. It's a great company. It's a senior role, and it's a relocation to Australia. I was like, that's the land of the nope. Like everything is like nope.
Well,
I was like,
for you that you live in the US and you already have your green card and everything, probably wouldn't switch. But if someone came to me and offered me a position in Australia, I'm on the next flight there.
Yeah, you and the giant spiders gonna wait you in the welcoming committee.
I will take the giant spiders over Israel, and yes, we have listeners from Australia.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, people from Australia. I'm just too scared.
We salute your survivalism.
Oh my god! It's like it's like for me it's like everything that's like nope. Like if somebody is like that's nope gonna get into my apartment, I'm just gonna burn the place and like build a new thing. I can't.
You have lobsters coming into your house.
Yeah, but like lobsters I can manage, like giant creatures of
I have
the
scorpions.
wilderness. Yeah, that's also scary, by the way.
Yes, it is. We also have had maggots a few weeks ago. Apparently, like a pigeon died in our a roof crawl space, and maggots started like crawling all over the place. It was
Oh
gross.
my gosh. Oh, that's good. That's good radio. Welcome to our extermination
Yes,
pest radio.
welcome to the Bagcast. So yeah, we are the Burn. We talk about games mostly. In each episode of the show, we discuss a game we are playing and like all this, and some news items. You can find all the episode in the website theburn.live. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/icel.me. We don't stream the podcast there because it's too short, but I do like game development streams and 3D modelings and gaming from time to time. So you can see that as well. Today, Omer has been playing one of my favorites shooter games of the last 20 years that I never played myself, but I watched it. And it's really cool. And it got remastered like 2 years ago. So Omer was playing Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. Take it away.
Yeah, so oh my gosh. So first of all, I like heard like little bits and pieces about this game. I didn't, I kind of like heard that it exists on the fringes, and I heard people really like it, like a sequel. But I didn't bother, just to like look into it. I don't know what I was doing back in the day. But sorry, about a couple of weeks ago, I stumbled upon it. Like I really wanted to play a shooter, like that is like non-committing, like not Borderlands style. Doom Eternal is too hard. I need like a good. I was looking at Serious Sam, which is great. And like I stumbled on this game, got really high scores. Like stream reviews are raving. I was like, okay, well let's just try it. It looks pretty fun, like mechanic wise and everything. And oh my god, this is like a gem. It is like a precious gem and a treat packaged together. It's like super fun. So, and by the way, like watching it, which is fine, and like playing it is like so two different experiences. You owe it to yourself. Whenever you want like a good junk food of a game, you just have to get it yourself, and it's super short. Anyway, so I usually don't read show notes, but I did. I had a good start there, so I'm gonna say I wrote something along the lines of, imagine Duke Nukem and Serious Sam going to a bar and have a really good time together, and then 9 months later, like this game is born. This is exactly like how I felt. It's like it's everything that's like game doesn't take itself too seriously. It's cheesy. It's way over the top. It's like grandiose. Dialogues are crap. Like character design, it's like they have no personality, which is it's everything. It's everything you want out of this type of a game. And like the story is you can spoil it like 100 times because it doesn't really matter. You're basically a mercenary that has their boss, like in the super future, their boss sending you to do like
The
all these
super
bad things.
future.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when like people with magnetic shoes walk on buildings and assassinate people from windows and things. So I mean, so you got this like military kind of like corporation style boss that send you to do bad things to good people. You find that out. You get pissed at your old boss, and now you're like hunting him throughout the game. And the boss runs away. You ended up in some space incident, and now you're going on stars hunting that person. So it's like and then on the way you meet mutants, you meet the rebel groups, you meet like all these weird people going on. But the main thing about this game and what makes it super enjoyable is the combat system, which is honestly probably one of the best FPS combat like styles I've played in recent years, and I think that's what makes people like beg for a sequel. So basically, when you go through stages, you unlock some guns, you unlock moves, but you have a really basic set of moves. You have a kick, and later on you get this like scorpion, like Mortal Kombat scorpion style, like kind of like hook that's like pull people towards you. So kick push people away from you, and the hook pull people towards you. And everything there is like the mechanics and the physics of the enemies is really a little bit over the top, obviously, but like also very fragmented in a way that you can kick somebody in the arm or their private parts area or the head, and they'll react differently. And everything in the game, inside the combat, is dependent on combos that you do. So once you kick a person or pull them towards you, time slows down, and then you can get creative. And the better your combos are, the better your, let's call it, space points you earn. And then you use those points to unlock like better, more ammo, more stuff for your weapons, more skills, more cool stuff. So, you go into a combat, you slide on the ground, you kick a person up, you pull them towards you, you kick them away again, you pull them towards you, you have all the time in the world. You pull a gun, you shoot them once, you switch a gun, you shoot them another time. And all of the time, you get those really satisfying numbers going up and like combo indicators going up. So, all of this like makes for a really good like experience, which is, serious Sam style. It's so over the top. Like, and in the meanwhile, your companions, which don't have any personality as well, and they have like the most generic lines, they shout things at you and, like, stop wasting time, what are you doing? And, all this stuff. So it's, it's just a treat. And you go through, a couple experiences. Oh, there's bosses. So the bosses are, also like huge with some weak points, and those battles are very satisfying. And when a boss dies, always like an epic event of gore and like all these particles high up in the air. And this game is at least I think you can mitigate that, but I'm playing on like the full-on profanity level, so there's like F-bombs every 2 seconds.
And they like
wow,
the move descriptions themselves are sometimes like with profanity or sexual subtext and stuff like that. So the game doesn't hold back on anything.
No. And you can, and they have, I think the thing I like the most about the already enjoyable combat system is that I think it really feels like they built the game for like what gamers want. So, every gun, for example, they have a primary.
A specific type of game. For the time of its release.
For let's call it. Let's try to phrase it another way. It's for the adolescent gamer who would like things over the top.
Call it what it is. Fan service.
Yes. Okay. But it's like in a very good way. So I'll give you an example. So I don't really play like sniper rifle, but you are. But I don't do it all.
I do.
So. Yeah, so I get the sniper rifle. I have enough combo points to buy like the upgrade. So I buy the upgrade. I was like, okay, well now I can like aim down sights. Okay, well that's improvement. And I was like, okay, well let's just try it. And then I aim down sights and I shoot, and then like it actually goes into like bullet view, and you can like curve bullets, just like hit enemies wherever. I was like, oh my god,
like the Predator bow in Assassin's Creed just for bullets.
Exactly, and I was like, "Oh my!" It literally caught me out of left field because, like, this is exactly what like I wanted it to do, but I didn't know I didn't know it's gonna do that. So that's like really super enjoyable. So they let you be like as creative as you want with all the cool moves, and you got your like revolver type of gun, you got your machine gun, you got your there's a cool type of gun who shoots like. It's like a flail. It's just like flails with like a bomb attached at the end of it. So it's like you shoot, it spins through the air, and then like it can tie a person based on the body part that you hit it on, and then you can like detonate it, which is like super enjoyable. I don't know, like the whole combat system is just a treat. I would get into like bad fights just for the heck of it, or and you can really like change the difficulty level. And I play on normal, and it's fine. It's great. But you can tone it down to easy, even though I think it's just fine. So yeah, it's literally like the best, and the game is super short. I think it's like 10 hours, even less. And the story is like bad as you'd expect, but you're in it for the fights anyway, and you can get creative with the environment. You can like kick people off ledges. You can impale people on like walls. You even have a cool move where it's like it has a cooldown, but you can like basically punch the ground and knock people up. So if there's an environment where like there's like glass windows on the ceiling or something, you can just knock people into the ceiling, which is fine. So anyway, you get really creative. And then so I did that. That's awesome. And then I tried the multiplayer. So I expected the multiplayer to be a huge disappointment.
Oh, by the way, on what you're playing it on Stadia?
On the what? Sorry.
On what platform are you playing it?
Oh, just on the PC.
Oh, you're actually playing a game on your PC.
Yeah, I mean, just because I saw the requirement, and there's like non-existent, so I'm getting a pretty good experience.
Okay. Also, apparently there is a Switch edition for it.
I think I'm not really good at like FPSs with the controller,
of course,
but I can see it happen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play it on like the handheld version, otherwise you'll get like motion sickness in 2 seconds because it's very like all over the place, and so I recommend the big screen for that specifically. So the multiplayer is super. Like they even thought about the multiplayer experience, which is nice. So it's basically you get a semi-horde mode, and then you move between levels, and then it's like you and like 2 other people. And the cool thing about the multiplayer is, how do you manage like bullet time with couple different people? So actually they somehow managed to do it, which is nice. And there's also like enemies so the goal of the multiplayer, by the way, is like to get a certain amount of combo points. So like between 3 of you, you have to like do a lot of stuff creatively. And there's some enemies where like you need to do like a dual combo in order to like get the maximum amount of points from them. So you and another person needs to identify that enemy, kick him up together, and like do some cool stuff with it. And there's stuff in multiplayer that you can't do in the regular game. So that's like super fun. I did play it a little bit, not too much, but it was fun. And then you unlock like more skins, more voice line, I think more cosmetic stuff, which isn't really attractive. So that has been very enjoyable. And then the last thing, which adds, it's like the frosting on top of a very delicious yet bad for your health cake, is you can pay. I mean, you can pay like, I don't know, $2 or $3 to unlock what they call the Duke Nukem Tour Edition, where all it does is replace your main character, which again has no personality, with like a model of Duke Nukem with like lines narrated by like Duke Nukem, which is essentially the same thing, only with a much rougher voice. So like it's literally the game, like it really like leans into like that type of character, and I think it's amazing. I think it's great, and I don't know, like whenever you get like, you have like a weekend, you need some downtime to just like have fun in a good combat system. That's that, and I totally understand why people are asking for a sequel, even though it's gonna be hard to top the original.
Yeah, right. So if you enjoyed that, there is a game I want to recommend you.
Okay, I'm opening my wallet. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
It's called Vanquish. It's a game by Platinum Games, which are the best spectacle fighter company in the world. However, this is a third-person shooter with when you are a soldier in the super future, as you put it, and you have an Iron Man suit that allow you to slide on the ground with jetpacks, and you are fighting a war against Mecha Russia.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yes. It's also got remastered a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago, a few years ago. Yeah. It was only on some console originally, and now it's on everything, so you can get it.
Oh, that looks badass. Oh my god.
It's badass.
It's $5. I am buying it without like sight unseen. It's like $5 right now on Steam.
Yeah, enjoy. It's such an amazing game, and I will.
Oh my gosh!
I will remind our audience that Platinum is the company behind games like Bayonetta, and Bayonetta 2, and and let me remember. Oh, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which is one of the most amazing games in existence. Oh, and also Nier Automata.
Okay, so thanks you everybody. That has been the episode for today. I'm going to play that game so long. No, okay,
So,
we
yeah.
get some news. Okay, don't go.
Platinum is such an amazing company.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. You can buy that in Bayonetta, by the way, for like $9.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I'm over the moon happy.
You see, sometimes I give you actual good recommendation that don't break your wallet.
You have 100% success rate.
I know what to recommend. So before we go into news, I just want to mention that I've been playing on the PlayStation 5 Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's the latest installment in the Yakuza series that do sort of a reboot. You play a different protagonist in a different city. And I suggest you follow me on Twitter and see the clips I share from that game, because that game is bonkers. It's like a JRPG, and the J is all over the place. It's like the most Japanese of Japanese games. And once I get a lot more into it, we'll also do an episode. But I just want to mention that. So that's.
Okay, so what is it? So is that like turn-based combat? Is that what it is?
Yes, they switched it. The first 6 games, or technically 7 games, were brawlers, and then in 7 they will Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon is a 7 game. They made it completely an RPG, turn-based combat with like moves and weaknesses and items and levels and stuff. So full-fledged JRPG.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's half a parody game. There is like a Pokemon system in it.
Is that grindy like a JRPG?
So far, it's not grinding at all. It's also not very game at all. I'm like 10 hours in it, or more like 7. And 60% of the time is cutscenes. It's more like a movie that sometimes you play.
Okay, well that's interesting.
so that
is the story good though? Like is the movie?
Yeah,
good?
it's really compelling. It's weird to have like an RPG set in a modern setting. And that ties into some of the parody elements, but let's when we do an actual episode on it, we'll dive into that more.
Perfect. I am going to send you my receipt for Vanquish, because it is it's in my Steam library as we speak.
I will expense it for you on the budget of the podcast. Let's talk news. A bit of news, not a lot. So first of all, more of a watch recommendation. There is a channel on YouTube called No Clip, run by Daniel Dwyer, which is a long-time gaming journalist, and for a few years he has been creating video game documentaries, which are very good, very professional, high quality and stuff. It's all crowdfunded. It's started on Kickstarter, and now it's backed by patrons on Patreon. And I first of all, I recommend everything on the channel. Especially, they did a series of like I think 7 or 8 episodes following the development of Hades, from when they announced early access until the official launch.
Yeah, that's a must watch, by the way. This is an amazing series.
Yes. So now they started a new series called Greatest Hits. And Greatest Hits is a series where their patron vote on what retro older games they want the channel to do a movie on, a video on. And the first of those is RollerCoasterTycoon. And I started watching it today. I didn't finish because I had to go into work and stuff. But it's on the same quality of all of the other stuff. And it's so interesting. I was never a RollerCoasterTycoon fan, despite the fact that I love management game. I don't know how that one like slipped through me. But it's so interesting. They go both to like the origins of the game and how it was made, but also to the current communities around the game and YouTube channels and stuff like that. So very much worth the watch, like everything else on that channel. So that's the first thing for the news segment. The second thing is kind of a big deal. The Epic versus Apple trial started this week. And regardless of what the results of this trial are going to be, probably going to take months or even years until it's resolved. As part of the discovery period for this trial, a lot of new information about the industry has come up. Stuff like information about the deal between Epic and PlayStation that eventually was abandoned around Fortnite and cross-platform play. If you remember, like 3 or 4 years ago, Epic wanted to do cross-play between all the platforms, and eventually it was revealed that PlayStation were against it, and everyone was like on their heels on how Sony is blocking the efforts for cross-play between platforms and stuff. So new information about that has come to light. And also one of the things that's been revealed in this trial is Epic's actual budget projection for the Epic Store around all the discount and free games and stuff. And it turns out Epic doesn't plan on being profitable, or the Epic Store being profitable, until 2024. And if you remember, it launched in 2018 or 2019, so that's like 6 years of the store losing money in order for Epic to get a market share before they start to even see money. So that's a really interesting thing.
But I mean, I think the business model is a little bit different because they have all the Fortnite people going through the Epic Store.
Of course, it's not no one doubting Epic is making money. They have Fortnite and they have Unreal Engine. You will remember that every game on Unreal Engine that earns above $1 million in revenue pays royalties to Epic. So Epic has a lot of revenue streams.
Epic is fine.
They are fine. It's just an interesting information about their business plan for the store and how they see it and stuff. And that couples with the announcement from Microsoft this week about lowering the revenue share from the Microsoft Store from 30 to 12%, which is what Epic did when they announced the Epic Store. So all of these stores in this market, including, by the way, Apple, are lowering their revenue share, their royalties, how much money they take from the cuts they take from developers, except Steam. And that's the big thing. That's the pressure all the other players in the ecosystem put on Steam to fall in line and reduce their cut as well. So those are some things that going around the Epic versus Apple trial. And speaking on PlayStation, it was revealed actually today or yesterday. If you'll remember, a few weeks ago, there were headlines about possible acquisition of Discord by Microsoft. And apparently that deal has fallen. It's no longer happening. And then Discord announced that they are in partnership with Sony now for PlayStation. It's not an acquisition, just a partnership. And apparently PlayStation is going to integrate Discord into the PlayStation operating system. You will be able to use Discord through PlayStation. That's
awesome. That's
really awesome, nice. And amazing and weird.
I mean it's not that weird though, because I remember, I want to say like 7 or 6 years ago, where I think it was the PlayStation 4. So I was working for a company called Uvu, which was a video communication app. So Sony gave us some money to develop like a native integration of a video chat into the console. So I think that was like it didn't come through eventually, but it was an interesting experience.
You know what will be interesting? the PlayStation right now has native live streaming in it. You can live stream to your friends or on the PlayStation like Explore page or stuff like that. And Discord has live streaming in servers. It will be very interesting if I could live stream in my PlayStation to my Discord server. That will
So
be...
people can listen to the podcast while being on their PlayStation.
That too as well. Yes, that's a thing that people.
Oh, this is our business model. Let's go.
Exactly. So yeah, Discord. It's kind of interesting thing because Discord was very tightly in bed with Microsoft. They gave Game Pass free months for Nitro subscribers, and it had some sort of Xbox integration in the past, and it was like, yeah, we want Microsoft to buy us, but oh no, they're not going to buy us. We are angry and we are going to PlayStation now.
Yeah, this is exactly how the meeting went, by the way. This is like an actual copy of the transcript.
It's like a child that the daddy is not treating them well, so they are going to mommy.
Oh, by the way, speaking of the Epic Store, one of the free game on the Epic Store right now is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms with all the add-ons. Listen, it's this podcast gets the worst of me. I literally installed this game on a whim like 2 days ago, and I had to uninstall it this morning because it was too good for me. So now I actually can get all the add-ons for free. Like, oh my god!
You know what the advantage is of installing Idle Champions on Epic and not on Steam? It won't taint your game time list when you play it. My Steam list is forever tainted by having like 170 hours of Idle Champions open.
Yeah, so the thing is, with that game specifically, they calculate like offline progress. So I can actually
I don't like count it as a game that I played because it's an idle game. It's the 170 hours in Idle Champions and 170 hours in Warframe. Is not the same amount of time.
Yeah, I listen. I totally feel you. This game, it's too good. I was addicted to Cookie Clicker before. I'm not going through that phase again.
Yeah,
even though they added more like systems on top of the idle scenario, so you don't really click anymore. But yeah, they have equipment, they have traits, they have like formations, but I can't deal with it anymore. This is too good. There's certain genres of games that are better off, just let
I
them
love
exist.
idle games. I love idle games.
They're too good. They're just too good.
I suggest you play Raid Shadow Legends.
What?
I suggest you play Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh no! So yeah, it's not. That's not my thing because that's more like a mobile game. I don't know. That's not
for the PC. We actually we promote it for the PC. It's basically an idle RPG.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know. It doesn't look like my thing, but let's just not find out. Let's just play Vanquish instead.
Yes, play Vanquish. That's a better idea. Okay, this is all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed my voice with the new Rode NT USB Mini. Yes. That's not an ad. I'm not paid by Rode. I actually paid them money to get the microphone. I just love it. Thank you for listening. You can find us online on Twitter. I am at Icel and Omer is at Omer Kaplan. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, comment, and leave your reviews on your preferred listening app. You can find everything at theburn.live. And our opening theme was created by Andorco with vocals by Fishy Twitch, both on Twitter as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Omer, for being here with me as always.
Thank you for hosting with this amazing microphone. This is great.
Thank you. And yeah, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now. Goodbye.
See ya.